Okay, folks, welcome to Thursday Night Stock Charts Live. Another Thursday. What a week. So what we're going to talk about tonight are the weekly charts. The purpose of Thursday Night Stock Charts Live is to, besides to say hello and wish everybody a happy Friday Eve, is to go over the weekly charts and see how we are poised to close out the week. This gives us an opportunity to decide, do we want to reevaluate our current strategy, adjust up some of our positions as we move into next week. So technically, for us, next week begins tonight. And on Saturday with members, we go over the closing price action of the weekly charts. And what I always like to say is that 1 day left to go. So we're going to go over the weekly charts, but keep in mind, one trading day left to go, and a lot can happen during that trading day. We're also going to go over some economic data, some fake news that's out as well, and where I think the market is going from here. And of course, we're going to go to chart requests. First, I go to members requests. Then I go to super chats, and I'll stay on for as long as possible with members and super chats, but we are going to target 7 o'clock, and hopefully we'll be through everyone. But if we have more super chats and members to go through, we will finish. We'll go to midnight if we have to, but 7 o'clock's the target time. So let's pay the bills. So I want to say hello to I'm trying to bring up my chart request list here. I want to say hello to Franklin out there. Who else is out there? Dan, I think I saw. Hey, Dan. Let's take some questions first here. Bob, good evening. And I can not believe it's, yeah, you're not kidding, pal. I saw, Dan, I see that TZA has an upcoming 1-for-8 split coming on March 2nd. Will that affect how we play our position? No, doesn't affect anything. That happens all the time, especially with the bear ETFs. Yeah, it's a reverse split. Yep. Correct, Franklin. Joseph, howdy, Bob. OPTT never got a 3 handle. Yeah, I want to go over OPTT. I have alerts set. I checked on it the other day, and it never fired off. So I'm going to check that one tonight out of curiosity. Hi, Bob and Chad. Good to be here. I had a breakout on TTOO. It's a good gapper. Hope it sustains. Good luck with it. Nestor, hey, Bob, and all, when is gold and silver going back up? We're going to talk about that. Hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button. Thank you. I would have forgotten, no doubt. Rico, hello. Big Bear, hello. Denny, hey, Denny. Eric, Cena. Yeah, it is the season for the reverse splits. Once they start going below $10 a share, it happens. Bob, do you think that all this new money in the market, yeah, it's helped pumping it up. I mean, I think this whole thing is one big short squeeze, but, they're going to print more money. So I'm going to talk about the weekly charts and some strategy. Hey, Anthony. So let's talk first about our sponsors, the good folks over at TrendSpider. TrendSpider is our favorite charting software. It automates our grunt work for us, speeds up our analysis, and improves our accuracy. It's no sense in speeding up your analysis if you're not improving your accuracy. That's what this is all about. Automated technical analysis. So much functionality, I can't go through it all. I am going to use it and demonstrate. It helps you to reduce costly mistakes. The scanners help you find winning chart setups The trade alerts help you time those trades with precision. There's a 35% discount code below. Click that link, take a tour, 7-day free trial offer. Right here. You take a tour, and I give it away with our silver and gold level memberships for free. Okay, link below, 35% off. Let's get to the weekly charts. Suresh. Hey, pal. All right. So, this time last week, the market had rising volatility. Bonds were down. And let's go to a daily chart really quick. Let's reminisce a bit. What was last Friday? The 29th. So here we were on the 29th. This is last Friday. Last Thursday Eve, followed through to the downside on Friday. We got the bounce. The S&P 500 has not broken out yet to take out new highs. The small caps have. Now, I'm going to spend a little bit of time here talking about volume. And volume in and of itself doesn't necessarily mean the stock market's going to correct. I think that this is a heavily manipulated market, a big short squeeze going on in the micro caps, small caps today. How do I know? There's no volume. It's dropping off. Yet, small caps made all-time highs today and closed there. Excuse me. So, we've come a long way back since last Thursday. And it just goes to show you how much of a bid there is under this market. During, if you would have gone back 5 years ago, pre-QE and all this nonsense, you would have seen a follow through to the downside. They weren't going to let it happen. They moved it up higher. In fact, we're very close to, did we take out the highs of the week? 38.70. Yeah, we did. New weekly high. So, new all-time highs on the S&P 500, so I stand corrected. But the volume here, folks, is absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. Take note of the big volume to the downside last week. This week, no volume to the upside. MACD histogram losing momentum dramatically. But the price action trumps everything. Doesn't matter what the indicators are doing. Doesn't matter what the volumes bars are doing. Price matters most, then volume, then indicators. So right now, it appears as though the path of least resistance remains to the upside. Now, I kind of get ahead of ourselves, but I want to talk about ominous signs that are out there, but the market just doesn't seem to care. I mean, bonds have been decimated this week, annihilated, yields ripping. The yield curve at highs not seen since we were correcting back here, June of 2017. So the steepening yield curve, which is technically bearish for stocks, they don't care. There's no logic going on here. So it's like the indexes are now becoming the new GameStop. And what I fear about getting too overly short this market is not just a melt up, but a crash up. Basically a parabolic blow off top, very similar to what we saw in 1999, 2000. Bonds. This is the 20-year bond. We broke down. I mean, major breakdown here. We're down 1.68% on the week. Horrible, horrible, horrible price action. No volume, but horrible price action. the 10-year yield. We are up on the week, 3.6%. I would have thought by tonight we would have been up at this upper band of resistance, but we're not. So bonds, we've been talking about this for months now. W formation, a breakout. We've been saying bonds are going higher. Stock market doesn't care. Tips, Treasury inflation protected securities, pulling back. Why? Yields are going higher. So less fear about inflation, even though you had good economic data out today, less fear about inflation. So it looks as though the tips are going to pause here, pull back. We have a lower high on RSI and a possible lower high weekly chart on Stokes. The dollar, did this update? It has, yes, it has updated. Massive week. If you're wondering what's wrong with silver and why it was Wall Street, not Wall Street bets, that orchestrated that short squeeze on silver, this is why. They knew. I spoke about this last weekend and on Sunday Night Futures Live, that if we got a breakout on the US dollar, or a bullish reversal bar on the US dollar, which we did, we were going to get a breakout, which we have. That is bearish for commodities. So the dollar alone today, up 0.4%. It's broken out. So for those that are wondering right now, are you looking for opportunities in gold and silver? No. This has got to get resolved. This is a very healthy chart. I'm not ready yet. Soon, but not now. The VIX. All right, so on Sunday night, the expectation was that we would do what we did back in August. Break out on a weekly time frame, pull back, retest. So we broke out last week on VIX, powerful week up. We got the pullback. I was expecting the 25.50 to 25 level to hold. So far this week, it's been crushed. Now, we have one trading day left to go. A lot can happen. Tomorrow, we get non-farm payrolls. That's the pimp Mac Daddy of all economic data. So at current, where we're trading is at the lower band of a triangle formation on the VIX. The question is, do we bounce back? To bounce back, the S&P 500's got to give up the vast amount of its gains on the week. I don't know. Is it possible? Sure. But it's not looking good. But we keep an open mind. The Dow Transports, our canary in the coal mine for stocks. Huge week, up over 5% after a horrible week last week. No new weekly low. Big volume last week, no volume this week. Who's buying this stuff? Adrian. Hey, Adrian. Bob, do you think the recent rally is a bull trap before a real 10% drop? Seeing a divergence on IWM and stocks like Apple, AMD, CAT, FCX not moving with the market. All right, so this is a really good question, and it's a great observation. So what the game plan of the street is this, is 1 week they rotate into the small and micro caps, the heavily shorted names. Next week, it'll be the mega cap Q names, your Apples, AMD. The next week, it'll be your cyclical names, your FCX, CAT, those names. This week, it's the small and micro cap names. So you're correct to believe that there are divergences that are happening in the marketplace, but it appears as though that this has been going on for a while now, and it's probably going to keep going on. So that way, they'll sell the small caps off maybe next week. I'm just saying, for argument's sake. It takes the froth off of that sector. Then the Tues, which have taken a rest, they begin to move up, and they churn, on ever declining up volume. And then you get your parabolic blow off top. Now, I'll be frank with you. When I saw the price action last week on GameStop, AMC, BlackBerry, I don't know why they picked BlackBerry. It's not even a heavily shorted name, maybe because it's a low price stock. I had expected, I thought that was the final blow to the market, meaning you had irrational exuberance, taking a page from Alan Greenspan's notes. And I figured that, you know what, this was probably going to be a top here. And maybe I'm right. I haven't been disproven yet, but I'm not overly optimistic that I am correct right now. So, one trading day left to go. A lot can happen. My tune may totally change on Saturday when I reanalyze these charts. Maybe I'll be patting myself on the back for seeing the future and predicting it correctly. But as it stands right now, I'll be humble and say I don't, until now, I went into the week saying I thought that they would rally the market, but I figured by today, tomorrow, that they would be selling the market off. So my confidence is waning a bit. So to your point about could this be a trap? Yes, because all you need to do is do this. William J. O'Neill, the founder of Investors Business Daily, he's the one that really instilled in me the power of volume. And when you have, his analogy is that when you have institutions entering the market, it's like an elephant entering a bathtub. It overflows. Makes sense, right? So last week we were down on big volume, and that gave me confidence that going into this week that, probably going to pull back on the VIX, a rally in the S&P 500, probably come on light volume, and correct. But I figured by Thursday, Friday, we would see some selling. It didn't happen. Now, here's why I may still be right. There's no volume. There's no volume. So the reason why I bring up institutions is that if institutions were behind this rally, the volume bars would look like this back in November. This is a joke. We're at all-time highs on the S&P 500. There we are. Here's your moving average in red. There's a huge gap there. One day is not going to make that up. So, very, very light volume. And we were dropping off sequentially, but today was a game changer. We hit all-time highs, and shorts began to cover because there's no overhead supply, and it's understandable. All right, we covered the dollar, the VIX, the transports we covered. Dow Jones didn't break out to new highs yet, but they probably will. No volume. It's the same story here. Daily chart. Look at this volume. Horrible. IBD starting to give warnings. I know they had market under pressure a couple of last weekend anyway. We went over the S&P. Small caps. For disclaimer purposes, I'm short the small caps. I thought that last week was going to be the nail in the coffin. I didn't think we would take out the highs of last week. I was wrong. All right, the first rule of trading for those that are new out there is that if you can't look in the mirror and say you're wrong, well, you're screwed. So right now, it appears as though I'm going to be wrong this week, And this is what I get worried about. If we close out the week at these levels or higher, this could set the stage for a crash up. So if we appear poised tomorrow to close at these levels or higher, I'm going to need to reevaluate. I'm going to need to take some of that short position off the table and lighten up and get prepared. Because if we do get that parabolic blow off top, I want a huge amount of cash to short into. This is not a parabolic blow off top yet. We have more room to go. And in fact, let's go to a chart I have of the NASDAQ. Hopefully I still have it going back to the 2000 crash. Yeah, here it is. I mean, here was the top. You had RSI on the NASDAQ composite at 84.3. And then you, as we proceeded higher, you began to see lower highs. And I wasn't all into technical analysis at that time. Now I look at this chart and I say, you fool. Because the market was sending you a signal that it was time to exit. It was putting in lower highs, yet we're moving into higher high territory. And there was really good volume at the top too. And what a 2-year bear market this was, man. Brutal. Brutal. All right. Tues, weekly chart. Do we have an all-time high here? I was so focused on the small caps today. 327.13. 330. Yeah, by a penny. How's our volume? Horrible, horrible volume. Look at this volume today. It's crazy. It's crazy. Beware, folks. The banks, huge week, and they should have a huge week because yields surged. The bank's net interest margin, aka NIM, does very, very well in that environment. So if the stock market holds up, expect banks and energy to be the leadership group. Technology, new all-time highs this week. I didn't think it was going to happen. Look at the outside reversal week last week. Bearish engulfing, new all-time high this week. But there's no volume. This is mom and pop. This is short covering. This is not institutions saying, okay, go in there, buy 100,000 XLK, and we'll sell calls against it. Semis. Horrible week. This week, we're at the pinnacle. We're going to break out or break down on the semis this week or next, one of the two. I thought for sure we were going this week. Look at how extended we are on MACD. Biotech's a monster. Up 19.5% this week alone. Consumer discretionaries. Inside week. How's the volume? No volume. How's Starbucks doing? Same thing. Same store sales declined 5%. They're just fine. This is not about price discovery anymore, folks. We have a financial economy. It's all about financial manipulation. Here's energy. Beautiful week. Oil's up big this week. Do we have volume? I bet we do. We're probably going to have good volume this week on energy. Oil up nearly 7.5%. But there's no inflation. Big week. Gold. All right, so I forget who asked me about gold. It's bad price action. I mean, we continue to put in lower highs, and today we took out the lows of January, the week of January the 19th. Now, we're not seeing heavy selling pressure, but the price action is just horrible. And with the dollar rallying here, look at this, it just fell out of bed. So would I buy gold here, even at support? No, I wouldn't. That dollar rally has to end. Or if gold starts consolidating and starts drifting up higher, with the dollar still moving up higher, then you may have equilibrium. But until that happens, either the end of the dollar rally or equilibrium with the dollar, you have to avoid precious metals. I think longer term, they're a hold. Gold miners, this is the junior miners, a poor week. They attempted to break out initially, but were rejected. Very light volume. Let's go to the daily chart. You know, last night on Market Wrap, I was saying that we're either going to break out or break down. Unfortunately, we broke down. So there's no rush here on the GDX. The Stokes are rolling over back down below 50. So I would avoid right now. I would not add to positions. This is the silver junior miners. They're retesting support this week. Beautiful rally. We sold the SILJ on that short squeeze. We bought some of it back on, what was it, Monday or Tuesday? And Tuesday, I believe. And we're holding support at current. But not a good week here. Silver. Horrible week. So much for the short squeeze. That was completely orchestrated. Those Wall Streeters knew. They knew that the dollar was going to rally. Silver was going to take it on the chin. They created a market, and they spiked silver and gold, and they sold into it. I told members, don't go buying this. This is so rigged, so manipulated. They, all over the news last weekend, out of the blue, on Monday, the Reddit, Wall Street Group Street, whatever they are, they're going to spike the market. They're going to spike silver. Nothing about on the chat was there about the spike in silver. Yet it's all they spoke about on the news. That's your hedge funds. Those are your banks planting stories. They orchestrated a short squeeze. I told members, avoid it like the plague, that we're being played. And this is what happens. A nefarious group, man. Uranium, good week, selling off a little bit. All right, what else do we have? Emerging markets. I don't like emerging markets right now, despite the fact that they're up. The dollar is strong. That is not good for emerging markets. Let's go to a daily chart. First off, there's no volume. Horrible volume. Remember that emerging markets are commodity-based economies in general. They have debt, which is denominated in U.S. dollars. So if the dollar declines, their share prices move up higher. So you would expect in a declining environment, a declining dollar environment, emerging markets to move up higher. And they did. Now that the dollar is ripping, emerging markets, there's no reaction. They're just going up higher. So it doesn't make sense. There's no logic there. Down day today, very light volume. Okay, let's take some, can you check uranium? Sure. I have it up here anyway. Uranium. I like uranium. We booked profits back here on uranium. It got overbought. I wanted to get back in. I thought that after last week's price action, we'd get another lower low and hopefully a bullish reversal bar. It didn't happen. So I like uranium. I'm worried about, there's a steel is seeing price increases. China is short of steel, not short selling, but they need steel because they're not importing it from Australia anymore. One would think that U.S. steel would still be ripping right now. It's not. It's rolling over. So there's news out there about a shortage of uranium. Is that a planted story? I don't know. I don't like the way this bottomed out. It's illogical. It looks like to me that somebody planted a story, and there was a story out there about a shortage of uranium. They squeezed the shorts. Will this last? I don't know. I'd like to see how we close out the week. Daily chart. It's pretty simple on how to trade this one. Take your crayon out. And why are these so thick? There we go. All right, so the play here is this. Is that we may just trade and consolidate within this forming triangle formation, or we break out. You could buy on that breakout, or wait for a retest of support. See if we start putting in higher lows again. And we probably will. So I don't see any rush to go buying uranium right here, right now. Okay. Let's, how much time do we have? 6:32. I just want to go over economic data coming out tomorrow. In fact, let's go over for the week. ISM manufacturing missed. Not good. Construction spending, better than expected. This is what's got to change here, folks. There was a time when we were a manufacturing economy. Now we're not just even a services economy. We're more of a financial manipulation economy. So we need to start building things again. The ADP report blew the doors off expectations. ISM Services Index beat expectations. Today, a less worse number. They'd want you to believe that this is a good number. It's not. It's less worse. Look at it this way. 779,000 people registered for unemployment versus 174,000 people that got jobs. That's not good. So this is an economy that is just melting down. But the stock market has no direct correlation with the economy anymore. Tomorrow, non-farm payrolls. This is the pimp Mac daddy of them all. This is a big, big number. So it can shake the markets one way or the other. Let's take some chart requests. I'm going to go with members first. We'll go to 7 o'clock. We'll go to members first, super chats, and then we'll go to requests from the audience. Let me go to, first up, Nestor with Fubo. Oh, before I'm gonna go to Verizon first. I'm gonna go to Verizon first because I want to show a functionality. We spoke about this morning on Swing Trading Today about the new functionality added to TrendSpider. That's the price compare feature. And I'm using raindrop charts. And we went over this chart this morning. And I said, were it not for this overlay here, I probably would have said avoid. But since I had the compare feature on, I picked up that we had these two blue candlesticks. And these are, or should say, raindrops. And for those not familiar, raindrop charting is a mixture of candlestick charting and VWAP, volume weighted moving average. And the left side of the raindrop is the morning price action. The right side is the afternoon. So we had two sequential days of neutral or doji star style price action. It implies that the trend, which very short term was down, was going to change. What happened today? We didn't break out on normal candlesticks. I drew this line this morning. We broke out on the raindrop charts. I think we're moving up higher on Verizon. Add to that, going back 12 years worth of seasonality, we're up 62% of the time in February, 64% of the time in March. So a seasonally favorable period of time to trade Verizon. So really great functionality they've added here. I really like it. In fact, not that it helped me today. It didn't help me today. I got to be honest. I was looking at this earlier. You would have thought that, I'm going to scratch this. I'm going to show you another chart. Tesla. Somebody asked about Tesla earlier anyway, so I'm going to go over Tesla. Okay, using the raindrop charts, going back to June the 25th. Not a bad day. Let's take the trend lines off, resistance levels off. One might have bought this breakout, right? We broke out. Above resistance. Really good stuff. But this raindrop chart may have kept you out because it wasn't a breakout. It was a doji formation. The trend was up. And sure enough, rather than follow through on the breakout, we attempted to, but it failed. And Tesla pulled back. So just another example of the raindrop charting. All right, let's go to Fubo. All right, I'm using the automated trendline functionality here. You have resistance above. However, we're not at a horrible spot here. Let's pull back to a weekly chart. We'll come back to this. I want to get a feel for where we've been. Yeah, we have a bit of resistance above. Thank you, MacArthur, for the super chat. SUNW, you got it. Oh, the roof? They don't know if my house faces north, and I have a lot of woods in my backyard. I have a lot of property. And the woods in my backyard, a lot of trees, and they're worried about whether or not I'm going to have enough sunlight. So that's for panels. I'm still with Tesla talking about the tile roof. And for those not familiar with what we're talking about, You could do solar panels or solar roof. This is what I'm looking to have installed in my house now. It's really, really, really cool stuff. And it's expensive, but I need a new roof. So it makes sense. I don't want the panels. So their engineers have to take a look, make sure I'm going to get enough sunlight to make it cost effective to do it. I'm looking at best case scenario at a 11-year return on investment. So I don't want to extend out beyond that. So it's a question mark whether or not I'm going to go through with solar because it may not make sense. All right. Fubo. I like this chart. I like the weekly chart. I wouldn't be a buyer yet because we're right in the middle of a trading range. We haven't broken out yet. I would be interested on a breakout. Have they reported earnings yet? Anybody know? All right. So I'd be a buyer on a breakout here. Daily chart. We're struggling here. A little bit of topping action. We saw it today. I like this. Looks like we have a little cup with handle formation forming on a 2-hour chart. It looks good. But ideally, you stay small here if you're going to do it anyway. Add more aggressively on the breakout above resistance. I like it. Earnings will be in March. Thank you, Suresh. Yeah, I have PSE and G here. Pricks. I can't wait to get away. Hopefully I can. So Fubo looking good. MacArthur, SUNW. Thank you again for the super chat. Let's take log off. You kind of extended here. You can see with the topping tails last month, this month. You know, you're trading above the 3D Bollinger Band. That generally doesn't end well. Also, I'm picking off here that seasonality is not wonderful in the first part of the year. It begins to improve in May, but the sweet spot looks as though if you buy at the troughs of August, you can get a nice return. So I'd be careful here with where we're trading at current with opening up a new position. That doesn't mean it's not moving up higher. And here's the value of the automated trend lines. Right? Click of a button. And they're accurate. We hit this resistance level and we backed off. Excuse me. I can see that we already talked about this one. And I had a support level at 1331. Let's toy with 1662. We broke out today. I would do this. I wouldn't momentum trade this, me personally. But if you're going to do it, if you're looking for the entry point, a good risk reward entry point, wait for a retest of this breakout point. We faded on the day. I'm pretty confident that we're going to pull back and retest the breakout point. We'll keep a little bit of sensitivity on. And we'll keep it active for a few days. I'll share this with you. What do you mean, this one here? This one here really was a tell. MacArthur just picked up on the raindrop chart. This one was a false one. This one here was really a nice one. Confirmed the breakout. Very, very nice. You bet. Okay, OPTT. For those new, I did 2 videos on OPTT. They're on YouTube. Just type in OPTT stock. What was it? Stock analysis, something like that. If you do a query OPT stock, that should get you to those videos. Or just go to my channel and look there. All right, let's go to the monthly chart. Got to put log on here. It's really resumed the uptrend. And I never had my alert fire off. Looks really good. Looking really, really good. Weekly chart. Here are my alerts. Oh, you know what it did? Haha. I didn't pick up on this. My bad. Automated trend lines. Pop. Right there. Son of a gun. It looks really good. A little bit of topping action today. And it didn't fully break out. I think you could hold on this. Let's see how we close out the week. I like the fact that, you know, you have the most important thing for these renewable energy stocks, besides having a Democratic-controlled executive and legislative branch, is oil. Oil's ripping this week. So as goes oil, so go these stocks. So OPTT looking interesting, not quite there yet. I would love to see a washout and my alert fire off. I'll be all over it if that gets fired off. But right now, I'm on hold with it. Let's see how we finish out the week. And if we put it in a new weekly high next week, I may have to bite the bullet and get long. Let's go to a 2-hour chart really quick. Ah, very nice. We have a breakout in a 2-hour time frame, retest 1, 2, and 3. This may pop up higher tomorrow. Looks good. Looking good. Okay, what else do I have? We went over Fubo, Verizon, OPTT. We have a few minutes left. TTOO. What is that? That's not coming up. Oh, there it is. Typo. What we got? Ooh. T2 Biosystems. Very nice breakout here. Early stage breakout. Can't chase this. It's going to pull back. There's no doubt about that. It already started. I like it, but this froth has to come off. This has got to get resolved. Just as they did last month, just as they did back here, the froth is going to come off. Be very, very careful of this stock. But longer term, you have a monthly breakout, weekly breakout. The longer term trend looks really, really good. LABU. LABU is a little bit... You know what? It still looks good. It still looks good. Really good close. See the volume? See the fat belly on the right side of the candlestick? That tells you that you had buyers into the close. I think that we're going to move up higher, but here's the caveat. Beware. Okay, automated trend lines. Click of a button. Pop. You're going to have a lot of resistance above here at around, my God, I can't believe I'm about to say this, 163. This thing was just at 87 not too long ago. So it looks as though it's going up higher, but you're going to have resistance. It's not that far away. It could be there tomorrow. So I would not momentum trade this. SOXL. Semis. Monthly chart looks good. A little bit of topping action, profit taking. No biggie. Last week, horrible week. This week, inside week. I have to chalk it up to consolidation. Daily chart. Now the daily chart, let's take the trend lines off. You might be prone to say, you know, let's step in and buy it. And it's a bullish candlestick, no doubt about it. The problem is that we closed right at resistance. So I'm not saying it's not a buy. I love the raindrop chart. I would look for a continuation breakout, consolidation here, maybe just a retest of support, and it looks like it's going to go higher. I mean, this is a complete flip from what I was talking about last week. I was very bearish. Now, you know, if they move up higher tomorrow and close there, the SOXL looks pretty good. TECL. No way, man. Again, the trend lines are, automated trend lines are there to keep you out of trouble. Click of a button. We have resistance immediately above. Each time we've hit it, it hasn't reacted well. And we're just shy of it now. But it looks as though we're going higher here. So resistance is at 477.25. We closed at 451.66. So about 20 bucks upside, not much room. Again, this is another one where we could be there tomorrow. Nice day today. But here's your resistance above. So just be careful of that resistance. Again, Click of a button. Pop. 35% discount code for TrendSpider below. Lowest price on the web. Do I have any more? We went over Tesla. MVIS. Microvision. It's crazy, man. You know, you're trading above the 3D Bollinger Band again. This is nuts. I got to do something. Not much in terms of short interest. Market cap, not that big. No profits. Very little in revenue, yet it's at revenue of 7.3 million. Yet it's got a market cap of 1.56 billion. Hindenburg Research is on these guys. For those not familiar with Hindenburg Research, they're they call themselves a newsletter. I guess they're short sellers as well. They did call SC Works accurate. I got to give them credit for that. Yeah, this is nuts. I have to agree with Hindenburg Research here. This is a catastrophe in the waiting. But this is not about price discovery anymore. This is about MVIS is simply a vehicle to make money, and that's fine as long as you're aware of what you're owning, and use a trailing stop loss order. It looks as though, even though it's extended here relative to the 3D Bollinger Band, where's my RSI? RSI, not too overbought. Where are we on a monthly chart? RSI is at 90 on a monthly chart. If you have the stomach to buy this and the discipline to use a trailing stop loss, God bless you. I wouldn't do it. This is not going to end well. All right, what else do we have? We did OPTT. What did Amazon do today? Still trying to break out. It's holding a breakout in a monthly chart. Weekly chart too. My alert didn't fire off. Didn't come down to my price target. Good day today. So beware. They may... What did they do with Microsoft today? Microsoft was down. They may use next week to segue into the mega cap triple Q names. Amazon, Google, Microsoft, yada, yada. Apple. What did Apple do today? Apple, good price action. Apple looks good. Here, look at this. Bad candlestick yesterday. Blue doji formation. We broke out today. So Apple looking good. What else do we have? REV? Oh, ASPN then REV. Nice. Nice daily chart. Big breakout. Nice breakout on the week. RSI's got more room to run. Very, very nice. Bullish reversal bar. Daily chart. We broke out today. Doesn't appear as though we have any overhead supply above. Very nice chart. Good luck with this one. I think it's going to do well. I'm going to set up an alert here. Just in case we get a retest or a bounce. Okay. Set it and forget it. All right. REV. Revlon. Ron Perlman. 10 wives, $1 billion in settlements. Madman. All right. Revlon. Monthly chart. No breakout yet. Struggling to break out. Actually, I shouldn't say no breakout yet. That's wrong. We did break out. We're trying to break out above these volume shelves here, and it's struggling. Let's just take a quick peek at the short interest. Big short interest. But it's only going to take a couple of days to cover. So I don't see a trade using short squeeze as a rationale. Losing money. Weekly chart. There was your short squeeze. Yeah, it broke out, retested, then failed to hold. Blue doji formation. You may get a pop-up higher here. Close above 12 bucks a share. You may want to throw on a trade, but you really need to get through this level here. 12.40 per share. You have a lot of volume, shares trading back and forth between where we closed today and 12.38. So that's your resistance level. And you don't have much of a short squeeze potential here. Don't get lured in by this number. A lot of people say, look at Revlon, it's got almost 30% of the shares short. Great, doesn't matter. What you do is you take the number of shares held short, 2 million shares, you divide them by the average 3-month daily volume. That'll give you the days to cover. That's what matters. So be careful of people throwing this number at you. You need to do a little bit of math first. All right. Thanks, Franklin. Yes, hit the like button, please. Subscribe to the channel. ACB. You're welcome, Paul. Oh, Aurora Cannabis. I went over MJ the other day, and that thing just ripped. This is going to go, too. No breakout yet, but very, very close. No short squeeze potential here. Not at all. All right, ACB looks like it's going to break out on a monthly time frame. Weekly chart already poking its nose up above resistance. Daily chart. Listen, if you get a pullback to retest support tomorrow, I'd be fine with putting on a small trade here. I'm going to keep this active for a couple of weeks because I like the weed stocks. I already have an alert set. All right, so I have my alert set for a breakout on this one already. We have 2 alerts set. We're good to go, ACB. If we break out above 1445, it's game on. Earnings on March the 2nd for Aurora. Thanks, Ant. Always valuable information. Yeah, they don't have it up here. Thank you for that. Oh, Fubo. Gotcha. Thank you. Thanks, Rico. Wall Street Bets said the next squeeze is February 12th because of what Bob just said. MacArthur, AMC. All right, we'll pull it up. Yeah, what can you say? I mean, I feel bad for a lot of people that lost a lot of money here. But, you go into investing. I respect the passion for the guys on Wall Street Bets. I do. But what I don't like is that YOLO, that's casino thinking. That's casino thinking. And that you have no business trading like that in the stock market. Not if you want to last. And this is unfortunately what happens. So I feel bad for them. I really, really do. So I didn't get involved with it. The only thing I did do was on BlackBerry. I did sell some naked puts. I just generated some cash flow. Not much. But those are the 14 strikes. And thank goodness I did not carry them over. I closed out the position because the next Monday or Tuesday, this past Monday or Tuesday, they just tanked. I think the last I saw, they had an 11 handle. Maybe they have a 12 handle on them now. AMC, I would avoid like the plague. BlackBerry closed today, 1171. It broke down below support. I don't even think they make phones anymore. All right, folks. With that, I'm going to say, everybody, smash the like button, please. Thanks for joining in. Love these Thursday nights. And MacArthur, thank you for the super chat. Members, I'll talk to you on Saturday. We're going to rehash all the weekly charts again. We'll see what Friday brings. Remember, non-farm payrolls tomorrow. Everybody have a profitable trading day tomorrow and a great weekend. Be well.